Hi, welcome to your cheapest accessory. I'm Beth Jones, and I apologize, it's been so long since I last showed you guys a tutorial. You know, of course, that I'm pregnant and surviving that change in my life, but I wanted to show you guys a look that is great for the summer. We all know that summer is the time for weddings, and I think a wedding is such a great opportunity to have fun, play dress up, and really go all out, because how many opportunities do we have to really dress up these days? So I'm going to show you a look that is actually featuring the Eber Clipless curling iron. I'm a huge fan. I love just how the bottom twirls and your cord doesn't get caught. I love that you can kind of get a great soft curl with this curling iron. I'm going to show you how to create these great kind of soft curls, and then of course accessorizing it with something fabulous for the wedding day. So let's get started. Okay, so we're going to get started with the wedding hair tutorial that features the Eber Clipless curling iron. And what we want to do first is you want to decide, do you want your hair parted in the middle or in this off to the side. I'm going to do the middle just because that's the way I like it. Make sure it's kind of combed through and ready to put the curl in. I again always use a little bit of dirty hair just so it already has some texture. And we're just going to take the top layer of the hair, we're going to split it into 4 sections. So top 2 sections and then the bottom 2 sections. So I'm going to take that and kind of get that out of the way, just twist it up and pin it out of the way, and then I'm going to do it on the other side as well so that I can work with the bottom layer of my hair and get that all nice and curly. Okay, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take your curling iron, make sure you also have the glove that's provided with a clipless curling iron, just so that you're not going to burn your hand while you do this. You're going to turn the curling iron upside down, take about 2 inches width. That's what I'm going to use. You can choose whatever width you want. And then you're going to wrap the hair away from the face on the curling iron and just hold it there in place. And because of that glove, you're not going to have any problems holding that in place. And then hold it there for just a few seconds and then let it go. You're going to have a nice, really soft, beautiful curl to work with. So you're going to go ahead and continue doing that all throughout the hair. So take your sections out. I'm doing just a little bit thicker of a section because I want this to be really soft, romantic looking, not too curly looking. Wrap that all the way to the very end and hold that hair in place. And that glove is just great because it keeps the heat from burning your skin. Hold it there. And then you're going to let it out, and again you have a beautiful curl. So I'm going to keep doing that on this side of my hair, and then I'll come back to you later. Okay, so I finished this side, and now I'm going to do this side. I switched my glove to my other hand because this is the hand I'm going to be using to wrap the hair with. Okay, so I'm going to grab my section that I'm going to work with, and I'm going to do the same thing, wrapping it away from the face, holding the curling iron upside down, holding it in there as long as you want or as short as you want. The longer you do, of course, the kind of more secure the curl will be, but just hold it in there. And then let it go, and we've got another beautiful soft curl to work with. Move to the next section. And as you can see, I'm really using kind of thicker sections of my hair, like I mentioned. I don't want this to be too ringlet looking. I want it to just be really soft waves for that kind of romantic wedding look that we're going for. Let that one out, and it's ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take those, kind of pin them out of my way so that I can just work with this back section here, just so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to finish this off and come back to it. Okay, so I've curled both of my bottom sections. Now I want to move to my top. I'm just going to go ahead and take out one side of the clip and leave the other side. Alright, you just want to make sure that this section's ready to work with. Maybe brush it out a little bit so the hairs aren't too tangled up there from being held in the pin. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of a thinner section here for the front, and I'm going to start the curl a little bit lower than, I don't want to start it all the way up here. I want it to kind of have a softer angelic look to it. So I'm going to take that and wrap just that tail end of the hair around, hold it in place. And then I'm going to let it out, and you just have that really nice soft curl. And as you can see, it kind of just starts here by the eyebrow, not really high up on the head. So I'm just going to continue that with the rest of this hair here. So take my next section, wrap it away from the face, get it real nice and tight around the curling iron, hold it in place with that glove, and then you're going to let it out. And we're good to go. Okay, I'm going to finish this top section and come back to you. Okay, so I've completely finished this whole side of my head. I'm going to go ahead and take my clip out here and finish off this one, brushing through it again just to kind of make sure it's not tangled. And we're going to do the exact same thing. So take your glove and put it on the other hand because we're switching sides. I'm going to take my first piece I'm going to work with here, and again you're going to do the exact same thing where you kind of start the curl a little bit lower, so about a quarter of the way down on your hair, and just hold it in place. You want to hold that front section and maybe a little bit longer just to give it a really nice curl that you can work with later. Okay, and then take that out and you've got a nice curl to work with. Continue on, choosing just whatever width of hair and that you want to work with. Okay, and then once you've held it in there for a while, just go ahead and release it. I'm going to go ahead and finish off this section, and then I'm going to show you how to just give it that final touch for the wedding. Okay, so I've completely curled all my pieces. I'm going to go ahead and take my glove off because now we're going to work on just styling the hair. And what you want to do is you really want this to have a really soft, romantic look to it, so you do not want your curls to stay clumped together. So just finger through all your hair, just piecing it out. I kind of take maybe a clump and just start to pull it apart from each other so that it has a really natural, soft look to it. Do that on the other side as well. Just pulling it apart, making sure it's really just soft, romantic, has a nice wave to it. Okay, so you've fingered through, you've softened it up, and you've kind of given it that look that you want. Just for a little bit more styling, what I like to do is just go in with a smooth and shine brush and kind of brush a little bit to soften the very top, and then just kind of go through your other curls and just lightly kind of brush through just so it kind of gives it a nice shiny natural look there. Now this is a wedding, so I think you can have a lot of fun at a wedding, and I have a few ideas of what you can do. You put in these nice curls, but to give it a little bit more oomph for the wedding day, you can have a little more fun. So I say use a different hair piece to kind of accentuate your beautiful curls and of course your fabulous dress. So this is something I picked up at Zara. It's a nice headpiece with just kind of this great little tassel-y look. You could create this yourself with fabric or even some flowers or something like that. And I'm just going to take this and put this around my head and kind of off to the side, like a little cocktail hat almost, and kind of just situate it a little off kilter. And then you just kind of play with your curls, put a little bit of hairspray in there, give it a little more oomph, kind of a little more volume. And now you have an amazing look for the wedding. But there's another suggestion I have. You can actually go out and find a really great piece from a vintage store. This is one of my absolute favorites. And this has a floral, this is actually kind of a floral crown that you can work with. So you could take this and kind of put it right there on the edge of your head, even kind of going onto your forehead, and just pin that into place so that you kind of have this great, you know, beautiful look for a wedding that nobody else will have. And now you just look like a beautiful, radiant, either bridesmaid or just an attendee to the wedding, or even a bride if you want. And again, just kind of play with those curls to bring up a little bit of volume. And then there you go, you have a beautiful look for a wedding. And if you don't want to wear this to the wedding and just out for a day of shopping, go for it. So it's pretty easy, just putting in those great curls using the Eber clipless curling iron, and then, you know, softening up the look and putting some fabulous little piece in your hair to play with it and have a little bit of fun. And of course, as always, try this at home and join us next time for your cheapest accessory.